we're going to look at automation, and the best way that I can describe automation is setting up a sequence of tasks and actions within the system that you want to run automatically. Say if somebody signs up on your website through a form and you want to send them a thank you email as an automatic response, that would be a basic automation. The sign up triggers the system to send the email with their information within, but you can go a lot further than that, and sometimes I find that a visual representation as a process map helps. So if we take a look at this automation that was created previously, we can see the flow of information here. So starting from the left, the customer completes a web form. They go into a master campaign, but then depending on what they've answered within the form, they also go to separate campaigns that have separate actions. So within the master campaign, we have a time delay of immediately, send them email 1, add them to a group to keep the database segmented, and also to create tasks for 2 users about the new registration so that they can follow up. Now with automation, you can set time delays for each action. So 2 days later we have another action to send email 1A, and then 3 days later create a task in the system to call them. Now depending on what they've answered, so if they answered investor, they'll also get added to the investor campaign, and what that does is send a targeted investor's email 1 day later. And similarly for borrower or introducer, they get different targeted emails as well. So going back to InTouch, let's take a look at how you set that up. If you go to automation, this will show us a list of all of our campaigns, and we can add a new one by clicking the Create New Automated Campaign button. So the good thing about the automation tool is that it's step by step, so it's very easy to understand and define your automated campaigns. So we'll create a name for it. We'll call this one website sign up, as in this instance we want it to be a campaign for when people sign up through the website form. So we click the blue Create Campaign button. This takes us to the next step, which is creating our actions. Now going back to our diagram, these rounded squares are the actions, things like add to a group, send an email, or create a task. So we'll go ahead and add a new action, which opens up this add new action box below. So again, it's step by step. You choose each option. So we're going to want to immediately send an email, and then our chosen email. So from the list, it's going to show us all of our previously sent emails. So if we've already sent an email and we just want to reuse it, we can choose that. Or if we wanted to use that email as the basis for a new one, we can choose Make Copy, which will copy all of the information within, but we can make changes and customize it for this use. If you were to select New Email Campaign, that'll take you straight to the email editor where you can build a new one from scratch, and we'll be covering that in another video. So for now, I'm going to choose one I've already made, choose Make Copy, and our action is defined. So we're still on the automated campaign workflow page, and it's showing the action that we've just made, but we've got the button here to add a new action. So we'll go ahead and say that the next day we want to send them another email. So under time delay, we'll choose days, which opens up a number field. We can put in 1 days, again, send email, and we'll pick the email that we want to send. Now we can see on the workflow page that it's showing us two actions now. We have the immediate action, which we can expand the details here, and then our next action 1 day later, which is to send an email. I'm going to add one last action to show you all of the different options that we have for the actions. So this time I'm going to say 2 days later, and under action, instead of email, we could choose create a task, create a lead or a sale, send an SMS, add to a group, and then also remove from a group or remove from another campaign, add to another campaign, or send a survey. So you can see how perhaps after a certain length of time you would want to maybe remove them from this campaign and add them to another campaign. And adding to a group is also a very handy thing to do, so that you can differentiate contacts that perhaps have been added to automation automatically through a web form, or the ones that you've added manually either by uploading or adding into the system. So this time we're going to do create a task, and under task title we'll put follow-up call. You can choose which of your users it will be assigned to, a task category, and you can set when you want this task to trigger. So if we want it to be on 2 days after they've been added, we'll just leave that blank. The system will say in 2 days after the contact's been added, we'll create a task. So we just click the blue add button, and it's been added to our list of steps. So we now have 3 actions happening immediately, 1 day later and 2 days later, and we can continue to build this chain of actions going forward. Once we've finished defining our actions, all we have to do is press this start campaign button, and it's live. It's now ready to have contacts added to it, and it'll start working for us. So there's a couple of ways you can add a contact to automation. If it's an individual, you could go to contacts, go to their record, scroll down to the automation tab, and select it from this drop down. So as we can see, they've been added to the list of automated campaigns, and we can jump straight to that campaign if we need to. If we wanted to add a whole group of people to the automation, we can do that from our list of campaigns. So if we click on to contacts here, we can then choose send to groups. All you have to do is click on the group name, choose include this group, and then click save. Then click the blue save button, and we can see that those contacts have been added. If you wanted to link a web form to automation, you'll do that through the Web Forms tab at the top here. Choose Edit Form next to the form that you want to link it to, and then just here at the bottom where it says add your contact to an automated campaign, we'll choose our campaign, website sign up, click save and continue, and now anyone who completes this web form will be added to that campaign.